Okay, don't say anymore. I have things to say about Ryan. I'm going to talk so bad behind Ryan's back.
Okay, this just went from trash to dumpster fire.
Hello and welcome to Good Enough. I'm Sam, joined as always by Robbie.
Yo.
Matt.
Hello.
Guys, we've done it. It's over. We can move on.
We've gotten through this hell.
I guess it's not technically over. We still have to talk about it. But, you know.
I was looking at our episodes last night. We've been doing this for 2 months.
Oh my God, really?
2 months.
It feels like it.
It feels.
We started our first Game Club episode was the first episode of September. And this is the first episode of November.
Man, we've been
2 months.
good stuff.
Talking about Beyond Two Souls.
We apologize.
God.
I mean,
I'm not apologizing because
Yeah.
if anyone has suffered here, it's us.
That's
if
true.
anything, we're doing a service.
That's true.
Our listeners should apologize to us.
I warned a bunch of my coworkers never to play this game.
David Cage should apologize to us.
Yeah, we're 3 dead canaries in a fucking mine right now, man. Like,
Yeah, we're doing a service. We finished Beyond Two Souls.
oh,
We
boy.
did it.
Oh boy, did it just turn into like
It really turned around at the end. It really.
like
No, it did like a 360.
Yeah.
Where it,
That's what I mean. It
but
turned
like-
all the way around
but-
and was still shitty.
but like a negative.
They give you-
negative 360.
like so much stuff, more stuff happens.
So it turned the opposite direction.
So it was going forward, right? And then it did a 360, so it was facing the same direction, and then jumped off of a cliff.
Oh, okay.
But I didn't saved it, so you had to keep continuing.
Oh my God. I didn't save the game. Guys,
So the last episode, last chapter we did was
The
the
mission.
mission.
oh Jesus. I forgot about that. With Salim.
Yeah.
Oh, Salim.
My prediction rung true. That will come up later, but
I'm trying not to jump the gun. It's just
okay.
the-
No, we have
the
to go in
last-
order. We have to go. No, shut up.
I
We have
know,
to go
I
in
know. We're
order.
going to. The last 4 chapters of this game they were just such a fucking roller coaster.
Yeah, it was bonkers.
Like there had to be nothing left in like there had to be nothing left. Like everything was thrown
Yeah.
into this game. Like there was no idea that wasn't like they said, yeah, just throw it in there. Like they didn't make no fucking sense.
So that's the thing. Like this, they threw everything at the wall and then like just
And
didn't,
nothing stuck.
and didn't explain any of
Anything.
it.
Nope.
No motivations behind why people would end up doing what they ended up doing.
No
or
motivation of why I should be doing something.
Why do I give a fuck?
Yeah.
It's just
All right, let's go.
right.
Old friends.
Yep. So this plays.
You
this
guys,
one-
I was gonna say you guys have to take the lead because.
So Old Friends takes place after Homeless. It's like after you've.
Well, I just meant what was Old Friends about. I don't need the story leading up to it.
I'm
I
just-
just
wait. It was after Navajo and
It's
and
it's after it's
Homeless
right,
and
it's right
Navajo.
after Navajo. She's been on the run
Yeah.
for a while.
this is where Cole fucking bitch ass rats me out. I feel like half rats me out.
I don't think did
No, was it
did
Cole?
Cole rat her out? Okay, so old friend, she meets up with Cole, and then it transitions into Nora.
Well, hang on.
But like,
I have a quick thing about Old
Yeah,
Friends.
sure.
So she's on the run from every law enforcement agency in the country. That's a statement made in this chapter. And they chose to meet in a public park during the daytime.
in the middle of a crowded city,
And she's meeting a guy who is part of the reason why she's being chased by every law enforcement agency in the country.
my question is, like, so they meet up after some undisclosed number of years after she's been on the run since, deserting the CIA, but like, and then like killing so many of the CIA, so many members of the CIA. He not once mentions the fact that she used him, possessed him in order to like break the law earlier.
And then left him in a forest.
And then left him in a forest.
It's never brought up.
It's never brought up. He's never like, hey,
Oh, there's so many things that are never brought
hey,
up
by the
again.
way, that was pretty fucked up.
Yeah, like you legit used my body and
then like he just
had
greets
no say
her
over it.
greets her with open arms, so happy to see her. Not once is he like, hey, don't do that anymore.
She's like a daughter to him. He's the best character in this game.
He
He's like he's the character I care about.
Well, you know what's frustrating is Willem Dafoe was so close to being a fantastic character. He was right there.
Like-
and then the last chapter of this game fucking blew it.
Yep.
We'll get there, but
All right, so old friend, they meet
because
and
of the reason I brought that is because of that, Cole is the best character in this game.
And you find out that Jodie was taken away from her mother, and then her mother was put into an insane asylum.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the next chapter is Nora, and then she had asked Cole to find out where Nora is.
Yeah.
And they go to visit her.
And they go to the insane asylum, a CIA insane asylum with the least security I've ever seen in a place.
This is a recurring theme in this game where they will, God damn it, they will find a group of people, a group of marginalized people, and then exploit them for a story purpose, and then like comment on it. In this, while they're sneaking into the insane asylum, Cole says the words. Here, I wrote it down. He speaks the words. Oh, hang on. Fuck, I lost it. Going there, going to see security. Blah, blah, blah. Looking at my notes. Oh, Cole says, "Crazy people freak me out. Can we get this done quick?" As soon as Jodie found out exactly, probably hours ago that her mother was in this institution.
Yeah.
And then Cole says, in earshot, "Crazy people freak me out."
Did you guys look in any of the rooms as I didn't?
No, absolutely
No,
not.
absolutely
It's like
not.
the most stereotypical insane asylum. Like people sitting on the floor, like rocking, chanting to themselves. Like, it was just so
No
dumb.
desire. My
Yeah.
desire was to get in and get out.
It's all find
so-
room 43, and I was like, "Where's room 43?"
So the reason Nora is in this facility is because she has the same powers, I
Yeah.
guess, as Jodie.
they don't.
So she's interested.
They don't specify. They just say.
She has the same connection to entities.
But
Don't they say that?
So they say she has abilities. So you find out in this
Okay,
chapter that Jodie's mother and father both gifted. So there's that. That means this baby is going to be extra special.
Mm-hmm.
But like, what abilities?
Right. I
They
guess
don't. They never dive
say
into
that.
it.
But anyway, so she's gifted in some way, and she's in this secure facility, and her door is unlocked.
Is it unlocked?
Completely unlocked. You walk up to the door and open it. It's open. You don't.
But you had to get through 3 security doors to get to that.
Did anyone else
corridor.
have trouble sneaking in after the part with the security guard in the office?
Yes, I couldn't figure out that you had to wake up that other security guard.
Yeah,
I was
same.
just chilling in that room for like 5 minutes.
I was like wandering around his eye and like, oh, how
so you
do
had
I?
to like wake up a security guard and
gotta
then
throw chairs
possess
around.
the security guard.
I struggled with
So
it.
you get to Nora's room and she's like, she's a vegetable. Like there's nothing.
Oh, one of my
there.
notes is great. How is this going to be offensive to the mentally disabled? It's one of my notes in here.
Yeah, and then the first thing Jodie does when she sees her mother is she waves her hand in front of her face, like, "Hey, hey, anybody there?"
This is
She's
right
like-
after Cole says, "Crazy people freak me out."
It's like her eyes are open, but she doesn't seem to acknowledge me.
I will say this chapter, like, if oh god, this game is garbage. But if I take away anything from this game, it's that Ellen Page is such a fucking good actor. Like, she nailed it in this chapter when she met her mom, right? I like her performance was stellar.
What? So you go into her mom's head.
Wait. The machine her mom is connected to? Did you guys happen to?
Yeah, there's nothing connecting it to her mother.
No. Did you see what the readout said?
Of
No.
what?
Reading her vitals?
No.
It said good.
Just good.
It said good.
Vitals good, except
in
for the fact
green.
that she's in an induced coma.
Just in green, it said vitals underneath. It said good.
Well, that's good. She's healthy.
Yeah, good. Except for the coma part.
So you go into her head,
and you
she's
get
and
flashbacks.
I hate the flashbacks in this game. The sound that it makes.
It's gross. I agree.
wrote down.
It sounds like bones
It sounds
crunching.
like people
or,
chewing.
yeah, it's just. Why did they choose? The sound director of this game had no idea what they were doing. They're like, oh, I guess this is what it sounds like.
And then what is covering her? There's like her mom's like covered in like black jizz.
It's. I mean, I didn't think it looked anything like that. I thought it looked
come
like
on, Robbie.
all the entity junk.
That is not an episode title. Mr. Desktop, please do not write that down.
Put
I wrote
make
down-
sure it's credited that Matt said it.
Well, anyway, she's covered in like this black goo, and you have to punch it, as I didn't, to
So
get it
dumb.
off.
It's just
So dumb.
I think like if I'm assigning meaning to it, I'm guessing it's like, oh, her memory is clearing
Yeah,
out.
yeah.
But then you get the flashbacks, and you get a flashback of who gives Jody to, is it Dawkins? Who gives, maybe not Dawkins, I don't
The
know.
doctor
One of the doctors
just takes him straight out and
gives him to her adoptive family, and he says eventually he essentially says like, oh, here's a baby, she might have special ability,
Yeah.
she might develop
Yeah.
crazy psychic powers, just let us know.
Let us know.
Just let us know if she develops any powers. And that alone makes Philip such a fucking supervillain. Like, he knew from the get
Yeah.
that
Oh,
Jody
yeah.
was haunted, and had not haunted, but she had the
there
potential
was
to develop
something going on.
abilities. So when he took her in, he knew she might have those abilities, and then when she develops those abilities, he's
calls
like,
her a witch.
"She's a demon witch,
Fucking
demon
monster."
witch." Like, you knew, Philip. God damn.
I wrote one of my notes is Jody is legit broken. Like, she is a broken human being.
Yeah.
She had
Yeah.
0 wins in this game.
I don't know how she didn't.
Nothing good happens to Jody in this game.
Which, and we'll get to this, but which made my decision at the end of the game very easy.
I agree. Like, nothing good happens to her, and she can't even commit suicide because when you do, Aiden stops her. When you try
Okay,
to,
Yeah.
So what did you? Okay, go
wait.
ahead.
There's during that flashback or whatever when you find out that like why she was there and how like they're just keeping her in this fucking induced coma, and like I think the general or whatever says like the most humane thing to do is keep her in this induced coma forever, and I was like, no, no,
it's not. Just kill her at that
kill
point.
her.
Kill her.
Just kill her. He does kind of address why they have her in a coma in
Yeah.
the last chapter,
Yeah.
but it's a cop
yeah.
out. It's not. It's no.
It's the same. It's essentially the same thing.
Yeah. Oh my god. All right.
But yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
so
here
what'd
we
you
go.
what'd you guys do when you got out of the flashbacks?
I walked out of the room. Never looked back.
I totally murdered my mother.
Yep.
I didn't. I left
So
her
I-
in
You,
limbo.
you can stop
I-
her heart with Aiden.
Did you steal the necklace?
Uh-huh. Well, you didn't steal it.
I mean,
I mean, you did,
not
but
yours.
it's true. Yeah.
I try to. You realize, like, just because if you like take something from your mom, it's still stealing.
Listen, I've lived my life based on that philosophy. Mom, I'm sorry.
Yeah. So I stopped her heart. She died.
Yeah, same. And then you take the necklace.
I let Nora suffer.
Is that what it says
Uh-huh.
in the results?
Didn't explore cell. Distracted guard.
So this, when you leave the room, that's
Learned
when
father's name. Didn't remember it though.
Yeah. I don't. And that never pays off.
I never learned. Oh, I did. Learned father's name. I don't remember what the name was.
Nope.
But then you leave the room and
Get
Cole's
knocked out.
Yeah, Cole's there with a bunch of like soldiers or whatever, and he says, "I'm sorry." So did Cole sell her out, or
That's why I assumed.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Why the fuck else would he say that? Was he going to be like, I'm sorry I didn't like stop this fucking group of military
Right.
personnel? Like,
Right.
And so that
No, it's
chapter's
'cause he's a
over.
piece of shit
and then
rat.
you wake up in the most super villain office I've ever seen.
I said,
That office was fucking dope.
But it was like super villain.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Hardcore
I said-
super villain.
My note for that is full Norman Osborn, I guess.
So you wake up in
Dawkins.
Nathan,
Willem Dafoe.
Nathan's office, and I don't even remember what happens.
I don't remember what happens either.
But anyway, like you like they tell
Who
you like we
cares?
need something from you. So like they have a briefing. The 3 guys walk in. The 2 guys that trained you at the CIA, and then Ryan. Those two guys have not seen her in like 10 years. And the first thing one of them says is, "Hey baby, what's up, girl?" One of them says, "Hey baby," and the other one says, "What's up, girl?" I haven't seen her in 10 years.
What's up, girl?
And then Ryan's in the background.
Hey, baby, what's up, girl? And Ryan's there. Ryan's the biggest piece of shit in
I
this
wrote,
game.
"Uh-oh, there's Ryan."
So results for Nora.
We just talked about that.
Yeah, didn't we?
Did we?
Yeah.
Letter suffered. Didn't explore the cells.
Oh, I must have missed that.
You all right?
Yeah,
Wow, that was literally
like 5 minutes ago.
like
You're right.
no,
We're in,
it was right before the thing you just finished saying.
Sorry.
I mean,
Go ahead.
you should be incredibly embarrassed.
All
So
right,
you have a
you
briefing,
God.
and you find out that
Let's move on.
another country has made a condenser, and because we're the U.S., we can't allow that.
That, I mean, I agree with that.
Uh-oh. Some nationalism going on.
Oh, right.
There was such potential with this plot line, like to do like, politically relevant stuff, or
No,
and then
no, there wasn't.
there was though,
No.
like treat it.
Not if you judge it by the rest of the game.
Oh, absolutely. I know that's.
Not if you've played the rest of the game going into that.
I know-
There's no chance.
You're right, and I knew that wasn't going to happen. But I'm just saying, like they could have, like likened it to like the arms race or the space race, in the 50s during the Cold War. I mean,
I feel like they did. They got the point across that we can't let another country have this.
yeah.
What did you want them to do?
Well, I mean, I'm just saying they could have turned it into like a like political thriller plot line.
Oh, yeah.
And they didn't. It just turned into a garbage underwater fucking fight.
So then dragons hide out. The chapter starts and Jodie is captured in a room.
All over the place with my notes.
So Jodie's captured in a room, and then she says the first thing she says is, "Aiden, where are you?" And then it cuts to black. I was hoping so bad that we'd get an entire chapter playing as Aiden.
Ugh.
I wanted a whole chapter.
What chapter are we on?
Dragons hide out.
Dragons Hide Out. And they start in the snow, right? Mm-hmm. Okay. I mean, because there's that like en media res start where she's being interrogated.
Like, for real, if you're in that weather, do you go outside to piss?
Hang on. Before that, so you have to find.
I
a
had the
cabin
same
in
question,
this-
Robbie.
Yeah. So you have to find a cabin. Did you guys have trouble finding the place to go?
Duh.
I could not find it.
Not really.
I looked for a good 5 minutes and I could not find it.
I just went straight.
So did I. I went everywhere and could not find this place.
I mean, it was the only building that had walls.
I know, but I couldn't find it. Anyway, you get inside, and do you guys remember the first line of dialogue that she says when you get in there? Mm-mm. I'm desperate for a pee.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
Who announces something like that?
first of all,
Well,
if
I
I'm
mean-
exposing my genitals in that area,
Yeah,
it's going to be as close to a fire as I could possibly
And
get.
she's gonna get frostbite.
And they
immediately.
say that it's negative 40 degrees.
Yeah.
That is humanly unsafe. Like
Yeah, she would get frostbite.
you cannot
within
expose your
minutes.
skin to that kind of weather.
My note says, okay, so she needed a reason to go out in negative 40-degree weather, and then I wrote, to pee? Like to pee.
Mm-hmm.
Why not? Hey Jody, why don't you just secure the perimeter
or go scout or
yeah, like what the fuck? Like pee?
'Cause they're looking
and then
for-
she's peed on the side of the road and goddamn tanks come within pissing distance.
Yeah.
Like
pissing distance.
And then you go back inside and tell the guys, how did they not see that?
Well, what's
They
crazy
didn't
that
see
they
an
hear or
entire
see
armored caravan.
Well, it's crazy to me that like they drove right by her. She's not hiding. They drove right by her, and then like 4 sets of skis in front of the building. Oh, there's clearly nobody in there.
yeah, and first of all, like Matt was saying, like how do they not hear a fucking 4
Caravan.
tanks
Mm-hmm.
come driving past? Like literally 8 feet away from the door is the road, and 4 feet away from that is Jody pissing.
And then you go 100 yards up the road, and
She's
there's
just-
there's the hideout
Base is like
right
there's
there.
their base.
goddamn bunker. Like
So there were
was-
like 4 tanks or whatever that drove by, and in that hidden bunker, there were only 3 people.
I was very disappointed with that entire scene. There are so many ways to kill those people as Aiden, and you have to shoot them. There was I was like, oh hell yeah! Like I'm gonna kill a dude with a hook. I'm gonna drown that guy. Like when you're seeing everybody, there's like a guy laying over some water. There's a guy with a hook over his head. I was like, oh fuck yeah! I'm gonna kill these guys in some cool way. Nope,
no.
you gotta shoot them.
Why doesn't this game have a fucking run button? Like,
Why doesn't this game let you be creative? Let me do something.
Because
man.
David Cage will not allow anyone to mess with his vision. You will play as David Cage intended.
So you go into this place and you find out, the condenser is in an underwater facility. So So their plan is to
evil opposing military.
So their plan is to wear the guards' clothes and go down there. How'd you guys like the submarine?
Okay, so as soon as I got in the submarine, I was like, "Oh fuck, there's gonna be submarine controls, aren't there?"
I was like, are you kidding me? First, I was like, so what? I did just gives her the ability to pilot a sub now, or
Well, she said she drove one in the CIA simulator.
I was like, whatever.
But I said, "Oh, holy shit, there's gonna be submarine controls." And then my next note was, "Holy shit, how are these submarine controls better than literally every other controls in the game?"
Dude, and like that underwater
It was cool.
area.
It was a neat. It was a neat.
It was cool.
It was a neat reveal
Yeah.
to where the secret underwater base
Yeah.
was.
So then you come up, and these two white folks pop up,
all taller than everyone else.
and nobody notices them.
You legit walk past one.
Yep.
Profile, everything.
Yep.
You knock guys out within 4 feet.
How'd you guys get through?
I did it.
Did you get caught?
I got caught by the first guy.
Are you serious?
I'm
Really?
serious, and it was because I went up. I got on the submarine, and as soon as I had control over Jody, I went up to that armed guard with the guy, and I looked at him.
What?
And then he was like, "Oh, there's spies here. We got to get him."
What did you do, Robbie?
I got out and just picked up the cargo and walked it
Interesting.
past
We all did
everybody.
3 different things. I possessed the leader, the guy that interrogates you later, and he walks us through everybody.
Yeah,
He just like walked us right through.
you know what does the same thing? Picking up cargo.
I know.
Because I didn't,
I
no
got
one
caught.
even looked at me.
I just got caught immediately.
I knocked out 2 guys at least, at the most, 8 feet away from someone, and they
Yeah, I
didn't turn around or anything.
We didn't knock out anybody. I possessed the leader, and he walked us straight through to the condenser, and then the field like knocked out Aiden.
Yeah. I was like,
and then the guy takes over.
There's your fucking thing you were wishing for, a goddamn
Yeah, I
section
know.
of gaming with
I know.
only Aiden.
I wrote
and it's
a note. I put
fucking trash.
My note was I spoke too soon.
You didn't want that?
Did you guys talk?
Oh, absolutely not.
Nope.
Absolutely not.
They cut his eyeball.
They took Ryan's
out
eyeball.
of his head.
I was hoping they'd kill him.
What the hell?
Yeah, so you could talk in order to save Ryan from torture, but I was like, why do we give a fuck about Ryan?
It's
Like,
one of those
they've
things,
not
like, if-
established like why we should care about him.
I do not understand why they wanted you to play this game in this order.
Well, the only thing that we've seen from Ryan is that like he's an insensitive piece of
Yeah.
shit when Jody is experiencing trauma.
Right, and I feel like if we would have played this game and the order was like the chronological order, we would have got more Ryan in a shorter amount of time, so not so spread out. So we might have at least had a relationship with this guy.
But nothing we do.
I know
no,
it's all
nothing-
negative stuff. But
Yeah.
there would have been some at this point. I'm like, I don't even know this guy. There's been like 3 missions and a total of like maybe 20 minutes with him. I don't care about
And he's
him.
a mega dick.
Yeah.
So I was like, no way am I talking. And then when they took his eyeball, I was like, yeah, take that, Ryan.
One of my notes was, can I heal his eyeball with Aiden's magic powers?
Yeah. And then see, here's when you got that extended Aiden sequence right here, right? Because Aiden, it turns out the containment field that is surrounding the condenser it separated Aiden from Jody. And in theory, I'm like, this is really cool. This is a neat plot thread and a potentially fun little,
Yeah, she's in danger. He can't get to her.
So then you sort of wander around as Aiden looking for a way to save her.
What'd you guys do?
So first I went to the employee break room, and there's just like a real life soccer game playing on the TV, and I watched it for like 5 minutes, and then after a while you hear Jody like, Aiden, where are you?
I picked up a wrench, beat a guy to death with it, and then took a gun and then killed 2 guys.
So I went and I found a big red lever where I guess that's how they turn off the entire fucking base, and then I possessed a guy in there, but then you couldn't
touch the button.
It turned into like a real like light puzzle sequence.
I mean,
Because how do you get to the lever? Because there's 2 guards there, and then the guy with the guarding the guns.
Oh,
you can't
right
take
out. Oh, I know. Go right outside the door. Just take one guy out, get the gun, and then shoot those 2 guys.
Yeah. But what's frustrating is that like if
You walk slow.
yeah,
Yep.
exactly. If you fuck up, you like your guy walks down the hall, and then you got to go repossess him, and you're like,
you gotta go drag his ass out of his fucking bunk and shit.
it's just like, goddamn, give this game a run button or something.
So then you release all the souls. All the souls are allowed to escape.
Ooh, beyond 2 souls.
Okay, so
It's
then
like the ending to a Jurassic World. Release them all.
So the point of this mission was to go in, use the explosives, and blow up the condenser. They didn't know it was underwater, right? They had no idea it was an underwater facility. Why would those explosives work?
I mean, they're explosives, Matt.
But they're not. They were not depth charges. They're not. You can't just like, put dynamite underwater.
Why not?
That's not how dynamite works.
Says who? Are you Dr. Dynamite?
I'll use my favorite superhero.
Again, Matt,
like-
you're getting worked up and like over shit that.
It
like,
made me mad. I'm like, that's so
Well, you're,
good.
thinking,
writers-
you're thinking
the
about it more
writers-
than the writers did.
Yeah.
Like,
My favorite part of this whole mission, though, was that there was an underwater scuba suit that fit her perfectly.
oh yeah.
No, my first note as soon as I got in that was like underwater walking even slower somehow.
Oh my god. And at least at that point, they like kind of gave her like a running animation, but it was still slower than regular walking.
I had a question. I was like, so there are fish souls now.
I hate this game.
One of my notes is this is after the fish part. So it was after I got attacked. I put, what even is this game?
Did anyone else have trouble figuring out what to do once you got into the big room with the pool? Where the void was?
I saw the only fucking suit, so I just made a beeline for it.
I must have overlooked it like 4 or 5 times because I could not for the life of me like, what do I interact with in this room? And
Just because there was nothing in any other room.
well, there was like a weird machine that was oddly highlighted, and I was like, oh, it must be this thing, but it was not. And I walked around the room like 4 times. I was like, what the fuck am I supposed to do?
I walked in there and I was like, I did look around and it was super empty, but there was just that one diving suit
In a pool.
So I just like walked over to it and
Right.
I didn't.
And then you get into the water, and then you get chased by
my God.
the ethereal ephemeral shark, the soul shark.
So dumb.
And
It's
I,
underwater. That's why it has to look like a shark.
And then you come up.
I wrote
and then-
the Meg meets Beyond. Is it the Meg?
Did you guys? So once Ryan comes up and he saves you or whatever, did you notice what she's wearing?
Oh, hang on, I'm not done
Oh,
because we didn't talk about the fight scene between their torturer and Jody.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
I swear to God, every time a fucking fight scene happens in this game, I just wanted to like scream. They don't. It's so poorly done.
And it doesn't matter.
No.
You can get hit as many times as you want.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
God damn.
I wish I could see the percentage of times I made the saving move, like because
It had to be super low.
it's probably 20 times over
Yes.
the course of the entire this 2 months we've played this stupid game.
It's insane how like badly it controls.
So did you guys notice what she was wearing?
What?
She's still wearing that necklace that she stole from Jay.
Really?
Yeah.
Did she steal it or did
Yeah.
he give it to her?
'Cause remember, no, because he says Jay's dad says you can go take some clothes from Jay, and then
I
she
don't even
comes
know
out
who
with
the
his
fuck Jay is
from Navajo.
oh
And then
Really?
he takes some clothes, and then remember, we talked about this. Like she
Yeah,
takes
yeah,
clothes,
yeah.
and she walks out with a necklace.
Right. I remember that.
She's still wearing the necklace.
No joke.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I wrote it down. I was like, she's still wearing the necklace.
Was she? What the fuck? And then, is this pre or post Nora in the timeline?
it has to be
Post-
everything I feel like these
After-
last ones
we're all in
order.
But why is she wearing Jay's necklace but not her mom's? It's pretty fucked up. I forgot about Jay until the very end. I was just like, God damn, I hate this game.
Okay, so they get out of the water, and then they're just chilling there in a white. he's just
Literally,
chilling there in a white
because it's really
beater.
cold.
Yeah, and then their buddies just happen to drive by in the exact same spot.
Well, the exchange when they get out of the water, he's like, "Oh, I've always loved you. Do you love me too?" And then
Oh, Jody was dead when I got up.
Oh, what?
Yeah. Well, not dead, but like
Unconscious?
she was unconscious.
Oh, was Jody
They-
unconscious?
yeah.
Oh no,
They
yeah.
Didn't, they didn't talk.
In the explosion or something, right? Or
I have no idea.
Yeah.
She ended up knocked out. I think I got choked out by the dude or something.
oh yeah, I got fucked up hard by that dude.
Yeah, I think he like choked me out.
Oh, I beat him.
Yeah.
And he
so
got,
did I.
he
Well,
got-
I mean, the shark beat him.
the Meg got him.
But yeah, before that happened though, he choked us out.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah, Jody survived, and when you get up to the top, if you're both still alive, Ryan's like, "Oh, I've always loved you," and then he's like, "Do you love me too?" And I'm like, "God damn it, I don't love you, Ryan. I don't know anything about you. The only thing we know about Ryan is that he was a
You're
dick to
super
Jody.
insensitive.
He was a dick to Jody that one time. So I was like, no, I don't love you. Oh my god."
Okay, should we take a break there?
Yeah, well, let's talk about the rest of the results. Did you guys get numbers for this one? Because all of mine were like, must have got disconnected from the network or something.
No, yeah, mine was disconnected on that one too.
That's weird. Maybe people just stopped playing. There weren't enough people to get results. All right, well, let's take a quick break then because we've still got 2 more chapters left to talk about.
And they throw everything.
It's an exposition bomb. It's bonkers. We're in the home stretch though, guys. Let's get up, stretch our legs, and get ready for the end of this game.
I'm gonna write an angry letter to David Cage.
Please do. Let's do it. All right, more good enough after this. Welcome back to Good Enough. We are still talking about Beyond Two Souls. Guys, we're here. We've arrived at the last 2 chapters.
What a doozy they were.
Let's just get through this.
All right, so after Dragon's Hideout is Hauntings.
I actually kind of liked this chapter. I mean, it's obviously not without its flaws, but Jody in the previous chapter as a child had like not foretold, but she had a premonition of Nathan's family's death. And in this one, she's seeing their ghosts and they're like beckoning her in a really like well done, creepy, like set piece moment as you're following this creepy ass ghost down the hall.
Down the hallway.
Flickering lights and all that stuff.
To Nathan.
Yeah, I actually really liked that scene. It was well done. And then it was just all undermined by the introduction of yet another new power with no context or explanation.
That's not a new power.
Yeah, it's not a new power.
What?
No.
She's used it a bunch
She's
of times.
done that a few times, yeah.
She spoke. The dead spoke through her.
Yeah.
When did that happen in the past?
Homeless.
There is another one.
Yeah.
Oh,
But you do it in Homeless.
It
Fuck.
happened a few times.
I don't remember
You
that.
show your homeless buddy his wife.
And she talks to him. I've been with you this whole time. Like, oh, I'm so sad watching you live like this. Like,
Yeah.
Oh, I must have not done that then. I don't.
We talked about that. You didn't do that one. I think
yeah.
I was the only one that did that one.
It didn't sound familiar to me.
Yeah.
then-
So it's not a new power.
Okay, well, to me it was.
Yeah.
I was just like, oh, good. Here's another thing that Aiden can do apparently. But Nathan's a wreck.
my note in this was Nathan sad drunk crying is scarier than the ghost that brought me here.
Yeah, I agree. And I wrote, it's a wonder that Jody grew up as normal as she did.
Yeah.
And then I
Because
wrote,
her childhood was a mess.
yeah, like I said, she's broken. She is straight up broken.
Yeah.
She's a broken person.
Yeah. One of my notes here says all the doors in the lab were just straight unlocked.
That's how it's always. Every time he plays her as a child, it's the least secure facility of all time.
And all the doors have like number locks on
And
them.
why do they
number
need to,
pads.
why do they need to be secure if there's a child, a baby walking around alone in this fucking monster-filled building? Then I wrote, that was uncomfortable. Later, Gator.
I know she just like walked away after she spoke with she spoke with his dead family's voice.
And he's like, bring him back.
Bring him back. Bring him
He's
back.
like, I can't.
Bye.
Later.
Bye. Bye, Nathan. I know I just gave you a small glimmer of hope, but peace. She didn't even say
I'm
anything.
pretty tired.
Oh my god. How did he not like hound her to do that like for the rest of her childhood? Right? I mean, because this is really early on.
Well, we know why. We know why.
Oh yeah.
He fucking figured it out.
He figured out
All
how
right.
to do it on
Next
his own.
chapter, Black Sun.
Black Hole Sun.
Black
Final
hole
chapter.
Won't you come?
and wash away
This
the
game.
ra- the ra- Black hole sun, won't you come?
My first note is
Wash away
OM
this game.
fucking G, because it's that lieutenant general, whatever. This is a world that we need to conquer. It's like, where
What
is
the
this
fuck?
coming
Out of
from?
nowhere,
Yeah.
too. My favorite thing is how Jodie's just like allowed to leave a secure meeting between like.
Yeah, just like, you know what? I ain't feeling this. Like, I gotta go.
She just snuck out. No one stopped her. I feel like that would be like way against protocol.
So you walk out, and then like it frames it so you see Nick Fury sitting there.
Right in his eye patch. I wonder if you talk, he doesn't lose his eye.
I'm sure.
Not
Yeah,
that
I watched some other playthroughs and he has his eye.
I wonder if there's something you could have done so he loses both of his.
I hate
I'll talk, but only if you take both eyes.
I hate the responses in this game. Like I did not want to be with him, but I did not want her to answer like that.
Well, I'm just like, how many times do I have to reject you, Ryan?
Yeah.
But the way she did it, I was like, damn, Jodie. Like I just wanted to say no.
No, I wanted it to be as clear as possible because this was at least the 15th time I've had to tell him not interested.
Yeah, I'm like, every time.
I think I picked like aggressive or whatever most.
I picked refuse. It was like the least aggressive one.
I picked the most aggressive
and
one.
she was still aggressive.
You probably said the same thing.
I'm sure it did. Did it say like, I can't trust you?
Yeah.
I'll never trust you? Yeah, okay.
He's like, oh, so she comes out of the meeting. He's like, oh, let's start a life together, and you can choose whether to accept or reject. But before that, you have every time they have options like where each face button is a different response. I write down those responses, and this one was McGrath, cynical, ironied, indifferent. Because Ryan's like, oh, what are you thinking?
Oh.
And you can
yeah.
right?
Okay, that makes sense because I wrote these responses. These response options mean nothing.
Yeah. And then
I spent, I'd say, a solid 10 minutes making sure, or trying to figure out if I could avoid the conversation with Ryan altogether. I tried to walk out.
Oh yeah, they really pushed you towards him.
I tried to walk towards both halls, and
The game wants us-
does that thing where she's like, "Oh,
no.
I forgot where I was walking.
Yeah.
It's actually back that way." It's like, what are you doing? But it gave me time to see the departments of the DPA, which I wrote down.
ooh,
We had electronics development.
oh,
So I pictured just building
Like
a bunch of Blu-ray players and MP3 players, fucking some Amazon Echoes or some shit. Laser applications.
Ooh.
It's like, what?
Yeah,
Like,
we see these earlier in the game.
I know.
I took a picture of it.
I didn't see
but
them.
I
This is the first time
Yeah, I
hearing
didn't,
them.
remember robotic technologies.
I talked about this on the episode.
Well, if you had have done it in a better way, we might have remembered.
It was on the condenser episode.
And then robotic technology. I was like, this place, yet to see a robot,
Why-
yet to see a laser.
Why didn't they use robots then? They should have used robots for like all of it.
Yeah, apparently that department is not well funded because
Because all the money's going into this condenser
They could
that
have
they're
used
building for the third time.
How many condensers are in this game?
Okay, then the start.
One of my notes just says LOL eye patch Ryan.
For me, it was the start of this, the descent of this like ever-growing snowball when Cole, before you go see Nathan, is like, he says, whatever Nathan says, be careful.
Yeah.
That's in my notes too.
Yeah.
What?
So Cole doesn't trust Dawkins.
But this is the first time, right? This is the first time he's,
Said anything like that.
or even, it's even been alluded that like, oh, Nathan might be loose. Aside from
No,
like,
yeah.
aside from everything we've seen, and like this dude's crazy, but like none of these other
No.
people have ever said like Nathan's losing it or he's going in a
But,
direction
okay,
like we're
to give-
scared for him.
To
Nothing.
be fair, it would make sense that out of anybody, Cole would know because Cole and Nathan were partners.
Right. And like he loves Nathan, but I'm just like,
Okay, wait. Okay, given that, is that you just give someone who doesn't know anything some cryptic
No,
fucking
absolutely not.
like how does that help?
No.
because
Yeah.
I mean it's clear that like Cole loves Jodie as well. Why wouldn't he warn her? Oh, by the way, he's building a ghost machine.
He's all, hey, why did he say you ever see Ghostbusters? because this motherfucker has some ghosts trapped in his office.
Okay, so
He's talking to ghosts, Jody.
so you go into the office. Did you guys take the money?
Absolutely.
Hell yeah, I took the
Like
money.
I'm not like why would she not?
Yeah, I love
Like
it. She's
500
like,
Gs?
thanks.
What was it? It was like 500.
500,000.
yeah.
Which I feel like, honestly,
Not
the shit
enough.
she's gone through,
Not
Not
nearly
it should have
enough.
been like triple that.
Yeah.
Not nearly enough.
It should have been multiple millions of dollars.
It should have been 1,500,000.
Considering they legit took her entire life from her.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like
It should have been so much more than $500,000. And then Dawkins is like, hey, before you go, help me talk to my ghost family. He's, oh my God. He goes, yeah, so ever since that night.
no. What he said was ever since they disappeared.
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah, I wrote that
bro. I wrote disappeared with like 14 question marks.
I was like, what does that mean?
Then
They
I
died
wrote-
in a car crash.
Then I
It's not a
wrote,
mystery.
then I wrote, they died, bro. You knew that because you spoke in the weirdest fragmented sentence
Oh yeah,
to get it
What is
across
it? Car crash.
Drunk driver?
Drunk driver
on the way home from dinner.
died.
All right, so then he
Ever since
asks
they
you.
disappeared.
So I feel like that's a huge question that he's asking her.
Right.
And the prompts pop up and that stupid vibrating. I got super nervous.
I paused it so I could write down the
I got
options.
I got really nervous. I meant to hit refuse and I hit accept. I almost quit the game because I hit accept. I was like, no! Like in my room, I was like, no!
I told Sam why I hit accept. I hit accept because just visually,
Yeah.
I was like,
watch him
there's
suffer.
no way this is gonna be good for Nathan.
Right. So I and I chose reject, but it didn't matter.
What happens?
He just goes. She goes. You know that this isn't right. You know you gotta let it. You gotta move on. And he goes, please. And she goes, okay. Why the fuck are you giving me these choices, David? David Cage? Jesus.
David Cagey.
Why didn't he explain what that machine was? I guess was like a mini condenser. Is that?
No,
He
it's not
said-
because it's holding them there. It's letting
How
him
though?
see.
Like how
It's
did it?
hard- well,
how
that's
did
the
it-
thing. Well,
how did
this
it
is-
grab those two specific
I know.
souls?
There's no explanation for what this
Like
machine
you put
does.
like a sock in there
Because
and
even
it
she-
grabs their soul.
Because even she says like it's not just souls there. Like it's other things. Like it's not. But
You're,
yeah, like
they're in pain.
But like all this science on all this stuff, like when was he doing this, or like how, or
And-
why?
And they don't explain that fucking machine. Here's a ghost machine.
I again put 100% Norman Osborn now,
Yeah.
like full fucking fledged. His face, his fucking reactions to everything, his
Yeah.
anger.
So then you walk out of the room and
Hold
what
on,
is
I'm not done
Oh,
because
God.
I want to talk about the ghost machine some more.
Wait, I real quick, just my notes. After he said, yeah, fuck it. Yeah, because they look so peaceful. Cause
Yeah.
when he's like, I just want to hear them.
And they're like they're visually screaming.
Yeah.
You
I
can
know
see
like,
them
it's
screaming.
it's clear that they're in pain. They're like, oh, and he can't hear them or whatever. But it's like their body.
The best thing the game gave us is when the you could hear it, and it was stop.
The first thing
Let
was,
us go.
Nathan, please stop. We're in pain.
Let us go.
Oh my god.
When he unveiled the machine, he goes, "Oh yeah, ever since that night or whatever, ever since it disappeared, I've been working." And he goes, "Now I succeeded in creating this." He doesn't even have a name for the machine. It's fucking nuts.
This?
Yeah. God damn.
So then you walk out of the room, and what a surprise! The CIA
Oh, good,
betrays
look,
you.
Look at there. It's more armed men with guns.
Look at that. This empty corridor is filled with people with guns as soon as I turn around from the goddamn elevator.
And then you wake up,
They're gonna coma
they're
her
gonna
like
coma her.
they did Nora.
and then they leave.
There's a lot of, is this still going on? Like, why can't this end?
So I tried
Where
to
did all of this come from?
And we're still not close to the end at
No.
this
Okay,
point.
and then
Like,
you wake up and you become Iden, and I try to break her out, and it says, "Iden, you're too weak."
I didn't become Iden. I became Lassie.
Okay, that's yes. I wrote that down.
I wrote
that.
Lassie, yeah.
So did I. So anyway, I tried to break her out, and he says, "You're too weak."
because of the
When has that been established?
in Nora, like you said, the drugs were keeping
Was
her
she on the drugs yet?
No, her mom.
Her mom.
Was she on the drugs yet?
Who?
Jody.
Yeah, she had the IV in her. You could try to take it out of her as Aiden.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
She's hooked up to an IV.
Yeah.
But he's too weak to undo
Too weak to pull out the
IV.
Which I feel like even Aiden at his weakest, who at his strongest, we've seen kick down straight up fucking steel reinforced doors.
Yeah.
Like I would feel at his weakest, you still be able to pull out a needle.
And like the rest of the stuff that Aiden does in this chapter requires, I mean, objectively more strength
I
than...
punched a glass window and he shattered it.
Right.
It requires the ability to send people messages telepathically, what he does. Like, oh, those two flashing lights means Aiden jumped into the computer, put our names in, and now we're okay to go back in.
To be fair, Cole is probably super familiar with Aiden's behavior.
Yeah.
But it's not Cole. It's Ryan leading it
Yeah.
every time. Ryan's the one who sees the blinking lights and says, oh, I think Aiden got us in. I think we're good now.
I love that. I'm sorry, I didn't see your name right here in the middle of my screen. So how did you guys get them to continue?
Well,
I
I'm not...
I like hacked the board, like the little flashing board, and it said this way with an arrow.
When you first find Cole and Ryan, you have to get their attention as Aiden, and then you mess with a few things like the lights and stuff, and then Ryan says the words, "Do you keep entities in this lab?"
Yes, I remember.
Like, yeah, I've just got a closet full of ghosts. What do you want? Jesus. And then that's when I wrote down Lassie, because it's like, what is it, Aiden? Tell me, take me, boy. So they go to that guard, like you said, and then
He won't let him through. You type.
You type his name, you type Cole's name in.
That's why I'm like, how are they understanding?
And then right after you do that, though, Ryan
I
goes,
wrote that down.
"Oh, good, hurry, Aiden, take us to Jody,
Jody.
right in front of the guard."
Yep, right in front of the
I said,
guard.
and Ryan is talking out loud about Jody.
So then you release Jody, and then right as that happens, the condenser is turned off, and all the souls get released. So this place has been built around creating a way to connect with these entities, and they have not created a way to fight these entities. All the guards in this security place are holding guns.
Yeah.
Wow.
They've only had
what?
they've only had a few years since the first time all the
God.
entities got out.
Right. And then, so they decide it's their job to go shut down the condenser and close the rift.
They got to go shut down the Black Sun, which when they first step into that room, I was like, "Oh, it's an actual.
It's a
sun."
noun. The Black Sun's a noun. It's a real thing.
Did you guys remember what Ryan said as you're all putting on the mini?
He said something like, "Oh, this isn't our problem," right?
No.
And-
Oh, maybe he says that.
I
but-
wrote it down because I wrote down that Ryan, I keep calling him Ryden. I'm mixing Aiden and Ryan up. Anyways, Ryan goes, "This isn't our problem. I mean, let's let them deal with it. This is their problem." And then Cole's like, "No, we got to do this." They're putting on their belts, their shield belts.
It's a mini. What the fuck? I forget what they called it.
Containment field.
Yeah, mini containment field.
And Ryan goes, "Oh, whatever. I figured I'd always die a hero."
Oh
Yep.
yeah, I remember that.
And
I was like, what?
but he went from like, "This isn't our problem" to, "Oh, I figured I'd die a hero" so fucking fast.
My thing is, who says that? Who says, "Oh, I always knew I'd die a hero"?
it was crazy because like he flip flopped so quickly. Why did he decide to go along with them?
So then we have to sneak past the entities.
Oh brother.
More stealth.
Okay, so then you get through. Did you guys save Cole when he gets attacked? Did you heal him?
I healed.
I
him.
healed him, and then like they leave him there. So
Yeah.
the implications that he died. I thought he died, but I thought he died
No, he's alive.
because like they were like, "Oh, they." I
in the
think
moment, Matthew, not at the end of the game.
Oh, you meant like right then?
yeah, I thought he was
okay.
was dead. They were just
So did I.
They're afraid to kill anyone in this game.
But my thing is, I wrote this down. You're all gonna die anyway. Who cares who dies? Like you literally just said, we're all gonna die.
Exactly. So I was like, yeah.
Why does any of this matter?
They knew it was a suicide mission.
Yeah.
They go in there saying, "Oh, we're not coming back." So then why are they surprised when they die?
Yeah.
My favorite part is when you're walking through and you find Nathan and he's holding a pistol.
What's he doing? So you find Nathan and they're desperately seeking out his dead family. How'd you guys resolve the bit with Nathan?
I tried to be nice and then he shot himself in the head.
That happened to me too. Same thing.
I was mean.
And he shot himself in the head.
Why did the results are all the same?
I think it was like she was like saying like it's all your fault. This is all you. Like you did this. Like whatever. And then
Mine was he was like don't you see that this is a problem or whatever. So it maybe 2 hours has passed in this whole chapter, maybe. So like 2 hours ago, Nathan was holding his wife and daughter hostage in this ghost machine, and they were in pain. As soon as he dies, they're like, "Oh, come here, Nathan," and they all hug and have a family moment.
Oh,
they're like, "Hell no!"
My favorite thing is how Nathan's ghost is wearing like a suit.
My thing is like, he had been keeping them hostage for God knows how long, and they're just like, "Yeah, come on,
We're finally
together." It's like, hell no, I'd be pissed off.
Man.
You held us hostage for
Like,
years
your
and
family's
years.
as crazy as you are. You crazy ghost bastards.
And then they do her belt dies, and then Ryan gives her his belt, and the whole time I'm like, why does this matter? They're both gonna die. Like as soon as this thing gets shut down, it's gonna blow up, and they're both gonna die. Why create this fake tension with these belts?
I wrote
Because without these belts, we'd be dead. And then Jody's belt immediately dies.
my belt's dead.
And then Ryan gives her his belt. But I'm just like, doesn't Jody stand the most like
naked in that world?
Yeah,
like,
she stands the best chance of surviving.
But he loves her.
I mean, only
how many times do I gotta reject you, Ryan?
But like I said, why create that tension? Because they're both gonna die anyway.
Right.
Ryan might be even more broken than Jody. The way he's following and like
It's desperate for her, Jody's affection.
I can't remember what it was about, but I wrote everyone fragmented speech, horrible exposition.
So as Jody's like fighting her way to the condenser shut off valve, she's like, "Oh God!"
I kept writing, "How is this a machine? I'm in this fucking cyclone." Like,
Yeah.
like how is
My
this
favorite
a
part
machine?
is when Salim popped up.
Well, she's like going back. Her body is like de-aging. She's like going back in time, reliving a lot of her memories. Salim showed up. I wrote LOL Salim.
LOL.
I put, hell yeah, he's gonna finish the job.
I know, just put us out of our misery, Salim, please. Salim would have been justified in killing us. And then, oh God.
The worst part was the arbitrary button pushes when the demons are grabbing you. And she's like, tap L1 and L2 at the same time. Tap L1 and circle at the same time.
All right, so she shuts it off, which leads to a bunch of fucking.
This is when like shit started hitting the fan. It's not, and it wasn't before. It wasn't before she shut off the condenser that she learned what Aiden is.
Oh my God.
It was like, why? Where was this rest of this memory? Why does it?
Why did she not know?
Yeah, when she
Like,
met her
there's
mother,
exactly.
she would have found that out.
Like,
Yeah.
there's
100%.
no reason except for them dragging this stupid story on for this long for her to find that out then.
I don't wanna-
Listeners,
I don't wanna-
you've been waiting 2 months.
I don't
want to
be the one to say this out loud. You just go.
You find out Jody has a twin, and the twin dies before birth. And what's the twin's name?
Well, the twin is Aiden.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't.
Robbie really kind of trampled all over your big reveal.
Yep, the twin dies, and the twin is Aiden.
My first question was like, who fucking named this dead baby? Like,
Well, they could have named her before. Named him before.
No,
but why the fuck would Jody know?
My big question on this, I wrote this down. Does this ending imply, I'm just going to read it. Does this ending imply that his soul grew up like a human? Or Aiden was a baby soul the whole game? Or Aiden was a grown man soul inside a baby body?
He grew up with her.
How?
Well,
Matt, you're fucking asking questions about this stupid fucking game like there's gonna be actually like an answer that you're like, oh, okay. No, it's all trash, Matthew.
well, my question, I mean, and along those lines, like, how is she learning this information in the
That's what
in
I'm
the rift?
saying.
Like they don't explain where this information is coming from and
No.
like going into her mind.
I
That's
still
where
think
Aiden
she's just
is.
near the rift.
Aiden is from this realm, I guess.
Aiden. My big thing is Aiden. Why does it have a name? It's only ever been in her head. It's the baby died immediately, right?
Yeah, but I
Say like
I know
you said.
what you're saying.
Say like you said. The mom had the names picked out. She was given to some random fucking family. Like those are her kid. That family didn't know she had a dead brother.
Right.
That family didn't say like, "Oh, your dead brother" or whatever. Where does Aiden come from? Where does that name come from?
so maybe I mean, even if even if
Why is he naked?
even if Nora named Aiden, like we didn't see that in a flashback, so maybe Jody named Aiden. I don't know.
Maybe he named himself.
Did he like give his own name to Jody?
And how? How would this like
He
you
can
said,
write.
because it was a ghost
I
baby
guess.
who turned into a ghost adult. Because it had to have been that way because it I was gonna say because it wouldn't have made any sense on the other way because what is a fucking grown like a
That was my question. Was it a grown man baby?
It was.
like
yeah.
with cognitive thought and like knowing that he has to protect this child like
Maybe just
it makes no sense that that's her brother when you look at
Well, they are.
The rest of the
their parents
game.
did have abilities. So then the game pits you with the biggest decision: life or death. Do you want to go beyond, or do you want to?
So
go
you can
back
like
to
die.
life?
You can die in this rift.
So
or,
it looks at it says.
hold on, but like, is it so? Is she gonna die because of like the rift?
because of the explosion,
Right, because the explosion.
well no because the explosion doesn't hurt anyone else.
Yeah.
Well, it's
She gives up. She says fuck this and gives
Right.
up.
So
That's
it looks
what I
at
was
you.
thinking.
You look inside life, and it's Ryan sitting there. It's like, and she's like narrating this whole thing. Like, I could go and have something I'd never had before, even though I just turned him down, and I've turned him down for years. And then you look at the three people she loves the most in the world: her mother and those two Native American people.
in the Beyond section. Like,
Yeah.
And she mentions Aiden too. It's not shown or anything, but she says like, "Be with Aiden." and
Go
all
be with the people I love.
And then that's what they show.
It's her
These
mom. It's just
But I mean, that
two
shows
strangers she
that
spent 2
shows
nights
how
with.
effed up her life is, though. That those are the three people she considers.
That's why I
Family.
said,
What's crazy? Like, why wasn't Cole like in the life part? Like,
yeah.
Well, because she wasn't looking into whole. She was just looking into that room where
well,
Ryan
sure,
was.
but does that mean like Nora and then those two Native American people were just sort of they're right there in the room?
yeah.
duh.
So you guys totally chose
Dude,
Beyond,
it was
right?
not even a question.
I did-
It was not even a question.
It came up and boom.
Yep.
Like instantaneously.
I was like, yeah, her life sucks.
For that
done with
reason,
this.
I chose life.
Yeah.
So I have a feeling this is where like we're gonna get a lot of different.
Finally.
Well, I watched the playthrough of what happens when you pick life, prepping for just in case you picked Beyond too. Our game ends when we pick Beyond. Our game ends very quickly.
Oh, did it?
Oh yeah, you go through and there's like a whole narration. So do we want to discuss the endings?
Yeah, I want to hear it. I want to hear
Okay.
it.
So you pick Beyond, and then like there's this whole and I wrote down F off David Cage
it's the
and
best. It's the best part of the game for me.
your attempt at depth. So like you're floating through this weird ethereal realm, and you're floating around, and then she's narrating this whole thing like that. I'm watching over the people I love. She's like looking at Ryan.
Like this fool, all he's doing is crying.
Yeah, he's
Like a
just
little
sitting in his
bitch,
room
just
crying. You look
over
over
Jody.
You look over Cole, and he's in his office, and like you write on the screen, and it says like "Princess is still here," and Cole's like, "Oh yeah, she's here."
Like I'd be like, did she
And then,
watch me?
and then, and then it goes into an apartment where the four homeless people are still living together.
Really?
Oh,
Those are the four homeless people that after all these years are still
They just
living
live in
together.
the same
for
apartment?
Still, for some reason, still living together. And then Jody
she really-
Jody quits narrating, and then Sadie, which is Tuesday's daughter, the daughter that they have that you give birth to.
Well, who's Zoe? Is that Tuesday's real
homeless
name?
people.
Zoe is Tuesday. I think Tuesday's real name
Okay.
is Zoe.
I thought Zoe was the baby's name for some reason.
I think it's Sadie.
Okay.
Is the baby's name. So then Jody stops talking, and Sadie takes over the narration, and she starts talking. And is like, this girl has been talking to me and telling me all these things, and showing me these nightmares. And then the game ends with Sadie, the baby. Well, she's a grown child now, walking up and seeing what's going to happen to the world. And the world's going to get destroyed, and then the game's over.
It's actually way more convoluted than that.
Yeah,
Jody is reincarnated as
Sadie?
Sadie's, yeah.
Sadie's Aiden. Like she is Aiden to Sadie.
Like she says, like, I'm dead, love it here, but I'm not done. On some Sarah Connor shit. And then
Sadie takes over the narration.
I didn't put together
Yeah.
I just thought it was some random family, and I legit thought,
No,
like,
that's why I was so confused.
I was like, oh, she's reincarnated, so like even choosing to die doesn't make any fucking difference.
My thing was like, in what world are these 4 people still living together?
That's crazy to me.
Yeah.
Like,
they're all just chilling together, living together,
oh my God.
and then the game's over.
Should I talk about life then?
Yeah.
Because she goes back and so when you die, you don't get to see what happens.
Nope.
To the like.
Well, I forgot. Okay, she blows it up, and then Ryan comes over and tries to revive
He
her,
just
and
cries over her, and
she's
she's
dead,
dead.
and
Okay.
then it goes to the rest
Okay,
of the
well, so then she when you choose life, the explosion happens, and then Aiden is gone, and so Aiden had protected her from the explosion, and he died apparently, and then you know Ryan is like, okay, come on, let's go, and then it flashes forward like several months, and she's living by herself off of the money you took. I don't know if it's the money you took. That honestly probably doesn't make a difference.
Would they cash that check? Like, would the CIA back that check out?
There's no way that check cleared. No, she's living like alone in a cabin in the woods on a river, just like
Chill, Ron Swanson.
she's like chronicling her life. She's writing a memoir or some shit because apparently her like mind and memories are
I
deteriorating.
mean, her life is interesting as hell. I'd buy that
Yeah,
book.
absolutely. But like her mind is deteriorating and she's forgetting stuff. I don't know if that's because she lost Aiden or whatever. But then after she narrates for a while, like, oh, you know, I lived on my own. I was chronicling my life. And then she says, but then I figured out all this was leading to one moment, one decision I have to make. And you have to choose at that point if you're going to live alone, if you're going to go seek out Ryan and live with Ryan, if you're going to go find Jay and live with Jay, or if you're going to go find Zoe and live with Zoe.
Okay, so Zoe is the baby then.
Okay.
So that's the baby. That's the homeless
Right.
people.
And I'm just over here like, again, how many times do I have to turn down Ryan? Like, so I chose alone for this, and I kind of maybe want to go back and like see what happens if you chose everything else. But I chose alone, so because she can live to be her own person, she doesn't have to fuck Ryan. God, and my choice to me was between Ryan and Zoe because like Jay was a dick to her, right? Every man was a dick to her,
Yeah,
but like
everyone shit on her.
Yeah.
why would I choose Jay out of all these people? And Zoe, I was like, it's been so long since we played. I was like, why do I fucking care about the group of homeless people? So I chose alone. And then the next scene is that she went to Ryan and rejected him. She like, I told Ryan I wasn't ready to, or I couldn't live with him or whatever. and it kind of made me feel bad for Ryan for over like how many times I like rejected him. He like walked away all like dejected and sad and stuff. So after that, she goes on the run, and then not on the run, but like I guess she's kind of on the lam or whatever.
Bill Bixby in it.
Yeah, exactly. And then she says she's preparing for the future, and while she's on the run, Aiden like comes back, like writes to her on the static television screen. Oh, still here. Aiden's still here. And then it cuts to the future scene where she's Sarah Connor and overlooking overlooking a
Destruction.
destructive.
Yeah, in ours, it's the other.
It's the girl.
It's the homeless.
So I looked up.
girl with with her as Ida.
So I looked up the other endings because I was curious. So there's that one where she's alone.
I was not curious.
Well,
at
I
all.
also forgot to mention she does mail a picture of a princess to Cole, or like a crayon drawing of a princess to Cole,
Brother.
and like he opens up in his mailbox and he's all happy, but it's like this like shitty crayon
like
drawing,
child drawing.
Yeah, it's like a child drawing, and I'm like, did she draw that as like an adult, like in her cabin, and send it to Cole?
So I looked up the other endings. There's alone, and then Jay. You just go back to you ride your motorcycle back, and you make out with Jay, and then the same thing happens at the future.
Motorcycle.
And then Ryan, you make out with Ryan, and then you end up in the future. The homeless one, you go to the homeless people. When you get to the house, the baby is still a baby, and then you help raise her, and then the game goes to the future, and it's both of them standing at the end. So like, that was cool, I guess.
Does Aiden come back in all those?
Mm-mm.
So Aiden only comes back if you're alone.
Yeah, I guess. So then the credits roll. Did you guys pay attention to the credits?
Absolutely not.
I told Matt, I told Matt as soon as I saw like that title the title card with Ellen Page's name, I immediately.
So you guys didn't see any of the big names attached to this game, then?
Mm-mm.
Did you see? Do you know who composed the soundtrack?
Mm-mm.
Hans Zimmer.
Oh my God! Really?
Yep.
I remember nothing of the music.
I was looking
At
through,
all.
like it was going
Me
through,
neither.
and Hans Zimmer. I was like, "What?"
What the heck?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I just got like a wave of relief pass over me.
Yeah, well, I mean, we're done.
It's over.
How you guys feeling? We're done with it.
Dejected.
It feels like it does feel like, I've got a new lease on life now.
Can I delete all these notes off my phone?
Yeah, do it. I am. Yeah, I mean, that's
nightmare.
beyond, and it's been a ride.
Horrible ride.
Yeah. Any overall thoughts about Beyond?
It's just bad. Like the gameplay's bad, the story's bad. Nothing about it is redeeming. And when you do find redeeming stuff, it's just squashed so hard, so quickly that
It's like the game goes out of its way to like
make things harder and make things make less sense. Like like we talked about it throughout the entirety of this. A lot of the times we were never able, like, what would seem interesting was never readily made to seem like, oh yeah, I could go do this, I could go do that.
You could skip important information
I
or world
really-
building information.
I really do think this game would have been better played in order. I mean, it wouldn't have been good, but it would have been better. Because I feel like we would have cared.
think
I think
so.
you would have cared more.
Part of me wants to go back and play it in order.
absolutely not.
Cared about what?
Well, that's the thing.
My thing
Because
is,
I don't think I'm gonna care differently about Ryan if I get things in a different order or anything that happens in this
but
game.
them jumping around, it made no sense. Like the story made no sense.
As far
I feel like in order, it might be a little bit more connected.
You've played other David Cage games, right?
I played Heavy Rain.
Is that told out of sequence too?
No.
It's just
And
okay.
Heavy Rain's a really good story, like a legit good story. So I don't know what happened with, because Heavy Rain's a really good story, has no names attached to it. There's no big names. This game had huge names attached to it, and it was terrible.
Well, that's the thing. Like the skeleton of a decent game and story is there. I like the idea
Yeah.
of a person who has another soul or another spirit who can do stuff, and like her life
can do stuff.
her life. Yeah, I can't. I'm not even gonna. Anyways, her life was interesting, right? And she went through a lot of shit. The potential is there. The problem is that Cage pulled some fucking Christopher Nolan shit, told it out of sequence, and he thought he was
not good.
Yeah, he got way too ambitious, and it just turned into a garbage game.
The thing that sucks because the voice acting and the acting in this game was good. I feel like, and that's the thing that destroyed Heavy Rain for me. Heavy Rain, the story was amazing. The controls were a little wonky. They were better than this game, but the voice acting really takes you out of it because it's a bunch of they're French people, doing American accents, and it's very obvious. So that really takes you out of it. So like, it makes me mad because David Cage, I mean, he's a dick, but he can tell a good story because Heavy Rain is a good story.
I'm upset that Ellen Page and Willem Dafoe were part of this game because their performances were stellar.
Yeah.
Especially Ellen Page, so good, but David Cage went out of his way to squash any potential this game had. Okay.
Yeah, I've almost completely purged all this shit out of my head.
It was like, this was rough. Like, this is one of the roughest gaming experiences I've ever had. Like, I'm not even exaggerating. Like, for real. Like, it hurt.
Because it's been over. Yeah, it's been over like 9 days since I last played this game, and I mean, I've been playing Red Dead, so like all of this stuff has just been like falling out of my head.
Yeah.
I'm glad we're done.
Me too.
Now I can just finally dive into Red Dead without the hardest thing. One of the hardest things I've ever had to do was stop playing Red Dead in order to finish this fucking
And I
game.
remember last week I told you guys, I had to finish this before Red Dead because there was no way I was gonna stop playing Red Dead to play Beyond.
Yeah.
And then Sam had to do it.
I had to do it.
I loved it. It was the funniest. Like I legit laughed out loud when I saw him on the PlayStation, and he was like, I was playing Red Dead and he was on Beyond, and I was like, this sucker. And he still had a lot to go.
I did. Yeah. All right. Well, anything else before we end this?
No,
We
don't
have
play
to
this
pick.
game.
We have to pick something.
Oh,
still
yeah.
bad, but
Well, no, I don't
better.
know.
I don't think it has to be bad. We'll just like there's tons of games that I want to play.
Yeah, we'll come up with
Yeah.
a list of games. I want to make a poll on Facebook and Twitter to see how many people, answer it. But let's come up with like a list of like 4 games that we'll all choose a game separately, and then it's 3. We can each choose a game that we want to play, and we'll put it to a vote. How's that sound?
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks for going on this journey with us.
Sorry.
It's done now. But we will be back next week with more Good Enough. Thank you. Bye-bye.